Finally, the Supreme Court made final verdict on the February 2019 election. I'm talking about the election that went on between the PDP and the APC, Buhari, Atiku. At the end of the day, Buhari came victorious. Atiku was flushed out. Alright, bystanders at newsstands on Flip TV. Michael Adekunle taking you on today's edition of this program. And let's quickly look at what we have on these dailies. Daily Sun and The Nation newspaper. Let's quickly move down to Daily Sun. Atiku, it's finished. Atiku, it's finished. Supreme Court dismisses PDP presidential candidates' appeal for lack of merit, affirms Buhari's victory. Nigerian judiciary has been sabotaged, undermined by dictatorial cabal, says Atiku. Let's move on, says Mr. President. Buhari, let's move on, says Buhari. All right, Maynard to remain in prison as court adjourns bail hearing. Government abduct appeal court judge, kill police orderly in Benin. Government abduct appeal court judge, kill police orderly in Benin. Nigeria, Saudi Arabia commits to oil, gas partnership. Nigeria, Saudi Arabia commits to oil, gas partnership. Setup, rights Trump. 6 travel ban for governors jailing journalists. Others. Alright, moving down to the next newspaper, which is The Nation. What is The Nation dishing out to the public? Atiku, end of the road. Atiku, end of the road. That's what is on the front page of The Nation. PDP candidates appeal lacks merit, says Supreme Court. Atiku is saying something here. I will keep fighting. Buhari also saying something. It's time to move on. Alright, court holds Ambode's probe. Government kidnap appeal court justice in Edo State. Orderly shot dead. Former governor of Lagos State, Johnson, dies. Former Lagos governor Mobolaji Johnson dies. Sanwo-Olu mourns. Alright, another story here. Buhari okay Saudi Pact. Buhari okay Saudi pass. On sports, Musa back for Benin, Lesotho. Nigeria, US trade is $5.21 billion. Nigeria, US trade is $5.21 billion. Alright, these are the stories we have on the front pages of The Nation and Daily Sun. Let's join our reviewers for more talks. I'll be right back.
Situation of judiciary in Nigeria, judicial system in Nigeria is nothing to write home about, because since he has compromised, we have a separation of power, but we now see the executive have more influence in judiciary. Judiciary cannot stand on his own. So when a Sharia judge can now become a Chief Justice of Nigeria, somebody that cannot define what the full causes of the Nigerian law. He doesn't know his right from left when in times of law, and you said that person should be in charge. That's the beginning of the failure.
Okay, now looking at what we have here, Atiku, end of the road for Atiku. PDP candidates appeal lacks merit, says Supreme Court. The appeal lack merit, that's what Supreme Court has said, and we have it here also. Daily Sun. Atiku, it's finished. Supreme Court dismisses PDP presidential candidates appeal for lack of merit, which means the evidence of Atiku are not substantial enough.
If they said it's not substantial, that means everything in Nigeria is gone. When we say substantial, are you telling me in a modern world, when you said you are electorate, technology-wise, we have a server which can simplify the problem of election in Nigeria. And we we got to know that all the results is being transmitted into server. Even the INEC himself, the contractor confirmed, and even the returning officer confirmed. Because when you said merit, I begin to wonder what is the merit in law stand for. Are they telling us even most of the overvoting over 10 states is not merit enough?
To justify Atiku's victory or what?
I begin to wonder. You see, out of 29 states in governorship election, if you look at your statistic, PDP won 15 out of 29, APC won 14, despite some rerun. Like Kano, you know, they did rerun in 5 states. Despite their overturning some states with their influence, incumbency influence, PDP has more states more than them. That shows the insincerity in our judiciary system. I see no hope for a common man when you are being cheated. You see, I've seen the judiciary as a tools to punish a common man in Nigeria. Because when you see the last election, is our mandate that we gave to Atiku, and the guy did and defended to uphold the common man mandate that we gave to him. So, but when the judiciary said he's going to compromise and deal with executive, so be it. The hope of the common man has been dashed in Nigeria. That's just the yesterday's rules. So we have nothing. We are going to keep on suffering. Inflation rate has been increased tremendously. No economy has been fixed. The government that has it doesn't have a plan. Close the border without a long-term planning, without information to its citizens. Then what is the only thing that left for people that is wise in Nigeria is to travel and look for greener pasture. No hope in Nigeria because somebody that is governing us is a dead man, economically, educationally, and other important factors.
Now, at this junction, what can you say to Atiku? What advice can you give to him?
Not to common man. Atiku is a well-being, well-to-do. He's just there to fix some certain things he can do before he left his. But what I will advise Atiku is just to keep on fighting for common man. If he can still contest, so be it. If not, he should give support to the better future of Nigeria. If an enemy can allow, so be it. If not, for Nigeria to get to the right track, it will take years.
Yeah, it didn't start today. It started all the way from 1999 when we started our democracy. So that is when they started running our democracy and the judicial system. But I will even say that, on the other hand, I will say what happened to him, I pity him. On the other side, I did not pity him. Because under his tenure as the vice president of this country and under Obasanjo regime, they did not practice democracy at all. It is when they started running our judicial system, bribery and corruption, you know those things. So the judiciary has been polluted from the onset. And him, Atiku, he's not left out. So they enjoyed from the judicial bastardization. they enjoyed from it. Because I could remember 2003 election that happened, that took place. I can also remember 1999 election. I can also remember 2007 election that produced Yaradua. So all those elections were not properly conducted. So in other side, I will give Atiku kudos for fighting to the top, because this fight that he fought is a fight for democracy and a fight for all well-meaning Nigerians. So I give him kudos. Some people say he just go there to waste money. I didn't see anything wrong in him fighting for the liberation of our democracy that has already been sabotaged, for the liberation of the judiciary that has already been sabotaged. So he did quite well. I commend him. I applaud him for fighting to the top. It's a fight for democracy and it's a fight for all well-meaning Nigerians. But on the other side, I still will not pity him, because the government of him and his boss, President Olusegun Obasanjo, did not practice democracy. I can reckon the incident that happened in Ekiti State, where Fayose, the governor, was illegally impeached, and the presidency used the military might to send the army and the police to guard the governor, the new governor that entered power, while Fayose was illegally impeached. There are so many instances. I can record the instance of the genocide that was not even discussed in the House. Obasanjo ordered the destruction of Odi, the destruction of Okwe. The Wazirike, so-called Mazop leader then, ordered the military to go and destroy his village, Okwe village. All those things were not discussed in the House. So the tenor of him and his boss didn't practice democracy. They were just using, his boss was just using military might to do here, do and undo.
And the president has said that Nigerians should move on. We all should move on. Are you ready to move on with the president?
Whatever that we are doing in this country, we will still come back. That is a law of karma. Buhari is doing his own now. Maybe in the next future, it will still come to which wants his children, his family, his relation, and his lineage. Likewise, what is happening to Atiku now. Even the election that they conducted in 2007 that produced Yaradua still pronounced in court that you know that the election that brought him into power, there's a lot of fraud in it. And it was Obasanjo that conducted the election. So what am I now saying? The judiciary has been bastardized right from the onset. Our democracy has been ridiculed right from the onset. So him, Atiku, and even Obasanjo that was voicing out, is not left out. I will even say that I can allow Atiku to hear a voice concerning Nigerian political matters, but somebody like Obasanjo is not qualified in any way to contribute towards Nigerian political. I'm not a partisan politician. I'm just saying the truth.
Now, what's the hope for Atiku now?
The hope is that the military, the Supreme Court has heard their verdict. So, and that is the final bus stop.
Go home and sit down, right?
Will he be jumping up before? You should go and relax and let us wait for the next chapter.
Presently, the chairman of the judge was picked by the APC people now. So, and it is very impossible for such person to work against his boss. So the hope of winning that tribunal is very difficult, and I don't think he's going to win. It's an impossible mission for him to win that fight. He's not going to win. He will just continue spending money, going to this, going to that. At the end of the day, Buhari will eventually finish his tenure and leave. So he should just leave the issue alone and let everything go. So So that's my own take on that. He's not going to win. It's very obvious. It's what we know.
As a Nigerian, are you happy with the verdict made by the Supreme Court?
I am not happy because at least a country whereby judgment is not being looked into properly, then we are just deceiving ourselves. Anybody that is above the law, let the person face the judgment and let the right person go inside. Now we are looking at other there are some states now that they will go to court. PDP will eventually win. Sometimes APC will win. They are just using that one as a cover up to deceive us that though the law is still counting, but the major one,
the presidential,
it will never count. So it is very obvious. We are not dummy. We are not fools now. We know the game they are playing. So they are just using that one to distract us, to cajole us that it is working in that place. But the major one, it will never work. They will just keep trying. It won't work.
Now, if you are to come back next time to vote for someone, who would you vote for? If Atiku is to come out to bid for presidential seat, will you vote for him?
Depending on the people that will be coming out. Okay. Even the last election, I never voted for Atiku, Buhari. I never voted for any of them. But let us just try another person entirely.
Who did you cast your vote for?
For president, we haven't known any candidate coming out.
No, the previous election. Who did you cast your vote
for? I never voted for anybody.
Nobody?
Nobody.
You didn't see them as
I never
good candidates?
any one of them as a credible candidate. On my own side, I don't know for anybody. So I never casted my vote for any one of them. But this present, the next one, if you have a credible person, I can go out and cast.
We've come to today's edition of this program. Make sure you join us next time as we bring you another interesting topic from Nigerian Delis. Michael Adekunle still remains my name. Behind the camera, Latif Adebwale. In the studio, Michael Ojo. Have a good day.